Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barakathum, to the hopefully elect. This is just real quick, man, touching on this situation dealing with with the Quad leaders holding this summit, right? And basically which they formed this alliance. Read in the subtitle here real quick. It says leaders of the United States, Japan, India, and Australia said they want an Indo-Pacific region undaunted by coercion at their first in-person summit, which presented a United States front on concerns about China. All right. And again, because it's beautiful, man, when you see prophecy being played out. And what I mean by that, real quick, I'm gonna get this in the book of Psalm, because in the news a lot lately, man. Even over the past couple of years and whatnot, you've been hearing a lot about China, man. China's always popping up, and no distractions, Salakia. But basically, with a lot of things that's going on, you're always hearing China's name is always being mentioned. You see, and what does it say here in the book of Psalm, chapter 60, Psalm chapter 16, verse 8? It says, Moab, talking about the so-called Chinese. All right. It says, Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me. So the point being that Moab being the Lord's washpot. All right. And like I said, it's beautiful how when you see these things being played out, how the Lord is stirring up a lot of strife and tension with Moab. All right. The Moabites. All right. Because again, like I just read, they are the Lord's washpot, man. And the Lord is stirring things up using Moab, you see, which is being orchestrated. Not orchestrated, excuse me, because just a little side note dealing with how, because you still got this situation dealing with Evergreen, which is dealing with China and how they could default, all right, and also dealing with America and how America's government could possibly default. And you see, like I was saying, how you see the Europe, which if you have the ears to receive, when you read in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter talks about the beast, all right, which is Europe, all right, over there in Europe, all right, that's the beast that is talking about. They're basically testing China and America to see who could be the next world superpower, so to say. You see, because I always say, hypothetically speaking, if Yahweh Shemel Shai didn't write it out to where Esau will be the end, all right, he will be the last heathen nation to rule. If the Lord didn't write it out that way, more than likely, China would definitely, or I'll say China would more than likely be that next world superpower. All right, they will be the next America. All right. You know, because at this point, lately for America, it's been a game of catch up with China. All right, because China, man, they just seem to be 2-3 steps ahead of the game. In America, it seems like America is always playing catch up with China. So I'm just throwing this out there. Like if something happens, because at this point, America is so volatile, so weak. I mean, I mentioned this in yesterday's street teaching. How one not so major event could just be devastating for America, because again, America's economy, man, is hanging on a thin thread, as the scriptures say. Talks about the balm for her healing, man. Because America has an uncurable wound. It has a wound. No matter what you do, it's not gonna cure that wound, man. America's through, man. America's bleeding out. All right. And again, if America's government does in fact default, that would be very catastrophic. But you see, dealing with this situation with over there in China and Evergrande, all right, which they're not really reporting on both these things, because everyone's so caught up in this so-called pandemic or whatnot. You see, people don't really know and understand what's going on, right? Because again, hey, the Spirit of the Lord is working, man, throughout the earth, man. Like I said, man, it's a beautiful time, man, when you pay attention to these prophecies and how the Lord is playing these things out, man. You see, if China, if they actually end up, if this whole situation dealing with Evergrande actually goes south, all right, if it doesn't work out, defaults or whatever the case may be, I believe they're not really stressing it, man. I think they're, for the most part, they're going to be straight for the most part, But like I said, on the other hand, if America's government defaults, that's going to be very catastrophic. And you see, like I said, the beast, like I said, when you read in Revelation 13, which started with the leopard, the Greeks, all right, that's when the beast structure started, and knowing that it's going to end with the Russians, all right, the bear, because they're going to be the main catapult in the destruction of Babylon the Great. That's why also you hear a lot of talks dealing with Russia. You see, America's always, because I had mentioned this, if something happens, don't be surprised if they blame it on China. You see, but you also hear talks about Russia as well, man. It's always China and it's always Russia, in the news, But Russia, dealing with Russia, because again, knowing that Russia, according to prophecy, they're going to be the main catapult in the destruction of Babylon the Great. But you see, again, the Lord is stirring these things up by using the washpot, Moab, all right, like I just read, right, and I want to play this clip just to, you pay attention for yourself and hear, right, and the fact that America is joining these alliances with these other nations. It reminds me of one precept, which I'm going to get after I play this clip. So without further ado, play this clip.
U.S. President Joe Biden welcomed the leaders of India, Japan, and Australia to the White House in the first in-person summit of the alliance known as Quad.
And I'm honored to welcome Prime Minister Morrison, Prime Minister Modi, Prime Minister Suga, and to the White House. We're four major democracies with a long history of cooperation.
During the 2-hour summit, the four leaders discussed a series of issues, including vaccine expansion and climate change. But while China was not mentioned in their public remarks, Beijing was clearly top of mind.
Yeah, because real quick, man, like how America got with the UK and Australia, right, to basically, plant, which, it was strategic by, that was a strategic move by Esau, all right, to, give Australia those submarines, because I mentioned this before, when you look at the world map, you got China, and then under you got Australia. So basically America is positioning themselves in case, all war does break out, they'll, have some type of an advantage to strike China. That's what that was about. But you see, and a lot of people, they know that, because it seems like America is trying to not make it seem so, but it's pretty obvious that's what they're doing. And again, dealing with this Quad, with America joining alliances with Japan, India, and Australia, all right, it's another strategic move, all right, another alliance, another strategic move to combat China. And it just seems like they're, trying to not make it seem like it's about China, but like I said, it's pretty obvious that it's because of China.
Leaders discussed a series of issues, including vaccine expansion and climate change. But while China was not mentioned in their public remarks, Beijing was clearly top of mind.
And we believe in a free and open Indo-Pacific, a region that we wish to be always free from coercion, where the sovereign rights of all nations are respected.
U.S. officials have sought to play down the security aspect of the Quad alliance. That's though its members carry out naval exercises together amid concerns over China's growing assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific and attempts to exert pressure.
Yeah, because like I said, hey, China, man, they're posing a threat, man. You know, they're on their way to being the next world superpower, and America's trying to stop that from happening.
On all four countries, China on Friday denounced the alliance and said it was doomed to fail. The summit also comes just over a week after the US, Australia, and Britain announced the AUKUS Security Pact. That would provide Canberra with nuclear.
So yeah, you know, again, like I said, the Lord's washpot, man. The Lord is using his washpot to stir up a lot of this strife and tension. But ultimately, like I said, when you read it like Ezekiel 38 chapter, ultimately it's going to come down to the big dogs like America or Russia, all right, which, you know, you're going to have a lot of those nations over there, Turkey, Iran, all those other nations join alliance with Russia, right? And ultimately, like I said, all these missiles, all these nations are going to, you know, press those nuke buttons, all right, and fire their missiles over here to America. But like I said, Russia's going to be the main catapult to that. But nevertheless, all these things are, you know, leading up to that point. And like I said, it's beautiful when you see how prophecy is playing out, man. The Lord is, you know, he's stirring these things up, man. You know, because, hey, the Lord said, and we're in the time, the Lord said he's not going to hold his word back no more. So you see, the Lord is moving his chess pieces, man. But I was making a point about how the fact that America has to form all these alliances, right? You know, and why is that, man? Because when we read here in Isaiah 14, I'm going to read verse 4. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Because for a long time, America was the big bad bully on the block, all right? No one would dare touch or mess with America, man. You know, because, hey, America, they had all the, you know, weapons of mass destruction, so to say, right? You know, but hey, when you read verse, what is that, 14? No, verse 10, it says, matter of fact, I read verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they that speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So you see, because again, America for a long time was the big bad bully on the block, right? But now, like I said, man, America is pretty much already a third world country, all right? This is a welfare country, man. It's a welfare state, man. You see, and like I've been saying, America is one not so major event away from just, you know, really America turning into a fourth world country, man. Because, hey, it's going to get bad out here, man. And like I said, if America's government does default, that could very well lead way to Revelation 13, 16, and 17, if I didn't say that already. You know, the dollar collapse and the economy collapse, all that, man, all of the above, man. I did the video, man. Hey, that could, if America's government defaults, that could usher in a lot of prophecies, man. That could hasten in a lot of prophecies, man. Because you see, hey, when they get, hey, America's hanging on a thin thread, all right? You see, you know, America's a laughingstock right now. So it's a joke. You know, they're talking about drawing up papers for Biden's impeachment, man, because, hey, man, that man is mentally, he's gone, man. He's out of there. You see, his mental state, man, is just, you know, it's not getting any better, man. It's declining. And if Kamala Harris gets in office, hey, man, this place is really going to go to shit. That could spark World War III. You know, the other nations taking that as a sign. On another note, if America's government does default, that could spark World War III, because America's dollar is the world reserve currency, and you see that could piss a lot of nations off if America defaults. And you see, versus China, if they, you know, if that goes south, then hey, they're pretty much good, man. I believe they're backed by gold and oil, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, if that whole thing with the Evergrande doesn't work out, then hey, they're pretty much good. You know, they could pretty much care less. But you see, that would be very catastrophic for America. You see, because hey, America's weak, man. That's the whole point. America's weak, and you see the other nations, they know this and they see this. Like I said, America's the laughingstock of the earth right now. Joe Biden, he's the laughingstock of the earth. America's infrastructure sucks ass, man. This place is just bad, man, and the nations see it, man. And that's why I'm reading it again. All they that speak insanity, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So, hey, you see, more and more America's becoming like these other third world countries, man. You see, they're weak, man. And the nation see that, man. You know, the nation see it. Esau sees it. This is why he's getting ready to, you know, it's about to be a purge out here, man. Because Esau he sees his kingdom falling. He doesn't want to let this go, man. He's in his heaven. And that's why when you read verse 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, which just means light bearer. All right. I mentioned before, man, we're light bearers on the left hand. We're Luciferians on the right hand. All right, they're Luciferians on the left hand. It's, you know, Lucifer just means to be it just means a light bearer. It says, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. So again, this once mighty feared nation, nobody wanted to touch, no smoke with America. Now look at all these other nations, man. They're flaunting their weapons. They're talking shit to America, calling her bluff, man. Calling America out, man. Calling Biden out, man. You see, it's beautiful, man. Because, hey, Yahweh Shemel Shai, he's tearing this place up strategically, systematically. He's gutting this place from the inside out. You see? I'm going to read this in Revelation 18:21. It says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the seas, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. And basically, because like I said, Yahweh Shemel Shai is strategically, because you see, it's one thing for Yahweh Shemel Shai to kill you and that be the end of it. But it's another thing, and this is what the Lord is doing to Esau, man. It's another thing for the Lord to strip you bare, man, embarrass you, man, humble you, you know, bring you down low, man, humiliate you. It's another thing for the Lord to do that to you and then kill you. And that's what's happening to America, all right? This is why they're having to form these alliances, because they're weak. The Lord is systematically, strategically tearing this place down. And ultimately, the Lord is going to come to deliver the ultimate knockout blow. All right, because, hey, when America really goes out, it's going out. It's not going in quietly in the night, man. When America goes out, all right, this place is going out with violence. That's why I read this. I'm going to read it again. Revelation 18:21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. So, like, when you take a big-ass stone, a nice sized rock, and you throw that bitch in some water, man, hey, you know, the way that rock hits that water, man, you know, it's pretty dramatic, you see. And this great millstone being cast into the sea is symbolic for how America's going to go out. It's going to go out very violently. The Lord is going to take this place out, and that's the ultimate blow that I was talking about. Because again, once the Lord really strips this place, makes Esau bare, all right, you know, brings this place down systematically, right, then he's going to come to deliver the ultimate knockout blow. And it's going to come by way of the form of those ICBM missiles. You see? You know, it's all the will of the Lord, man. It's all the work in the hand and the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is all the will of the Lord. The Lord is orchestrating all of this, man, and it's beautiful. You see? But yeah, I just wanted to touch on this real quick, man, because like I said, man, they're not really talking about these certain situations like America's government going on shutdown and possible defaults. They're not pushing this. They might mention it here and there, but they're not really pushing it, right? Because these people are so blinded by the so-called pandemic that's going on. They don't really know what's going on, you know, when it comes to these topics, man. You know, but hopefully this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Yahweh Shemel Shai, Barakathum, to the hopefully elect, Lord's will. Until next time, Shalom.